You know, my intentions were never to talk about any particular person or any particular incident, and because this channel is all about empowering people, and I try to make it as suitable for everyone, I would say. But today I want to talk very briefly on a subject that is very on discussion these days, and it is about Dalai Lama and about the little boy. I will not comment on him. I will not comment on the incident, because as I said, with due respect to every human being, every animal, plant, all the souls in this universe, this channel is only to express opinions, views, and leave it upon you to decide what you want to do. But I couldn't even stop myself from speaking. Now, I am not going to share the video, because if you check online, you will find the video in many channels and many people talking about it. I will just share one incident with you, and which will give you a perspective of how an enlightened person feels, and how the thought process and the feelings and the actions of an enlightened being, an enlightened soul, is different from other human beings. We all are human, but when we have our enlightenment, it is a bit different. It is a lot different. You might think how I am saying this. I didn't want to talk about this like this, but I'm feeling the call to say this, and that is the reason I'm saying. I have had my awakening some time ago, and I went through my ascension process in isolation, and recently I have had that enlightening moment in my life, and now I'm serving my soul purpose. And my soul purpose, a part of my soul purpose, is to bridge the gap between the logically functioning society and humans and the people who are walking spiritual path. I would love to present my opinion here. My religion is love, and I don't have much idea about Dalai Lama. I am not a Buddhist, and as I say that my religion is love. But from my personal experience, I can say the universe or God, whatever you might call, makes the enlightened soul, because one who attains enlightenment, they have an active kundalini. They manifest a lot. They have a lot, very strong manifestation power, and their energy is very pure and very high vibrating. Okay, I don't know how much I'll be able to explain, because there are so many people will be watching this video. So I can say that enlightened souls, when we reach that point of enlightenment, we vibrate very high, and we attract many things naturally. Like we manifest things very naturally, and that is the reason we also have to keep ourselves aloof from a lot of people. We just cannot walk around and mix among people like whenever and wherever. It's very much different from any other like other human beings before the enlightenment. Okay, so there are a lot of restrictions, but it is not restriction, it is freedom for us, because simply speaking, like if earlier we were human bodies, now we are souls after enlightenment. After enlightenment, we serve our soul purpose. Mostly that is educating people or sharing our wisdom and knowledge and of previous lives and this lives as well. Downloads from the universe, whatever the universe wants us to preach, that we do. While doing so, we do these with utmost faith, not belief, faith, that if God, if universe, like God, I'm not talking about an entity, that's a different subject. Some other day I will explain to you what is God, who is God. Like say the creator, I would say, okay, the creator, whatever Creator asks us to do, we do it with faith. And often we do things which might seem a bit strange. Okay, now again I am telling you, I am not talking about this particular incident, because I'm not here to talk about any particular person or incident. I'm giving you a general perspective so that you can at least have an idea what happens. So we are asked to do things, and we often do things which are very strange, very sudden, and because we receive the information, we can feel it that we have to do this, right? It's an inner guidance. And often those things are taken in different ways by the society, people around. But there's a purpose. There's a purpose. The purpose is, many a times the Creator promises us opportunities so that we can make the right choices. It is promised to everyone. Everyone gets opportunities in their lives, right? So the Creator promised us opportunities so that we can make the right choice. Making the right choice is how much we have grown and how much we need to grow. Based on that, we make the choice. And if the choice, that particular choice takes us towards a direction wherein we understand that we need to grow more or less or whatever, like the next step. Now there are people who need to do karma. How they will do karma? Like, now if a similar incident happens and a person, say, has thought something negative. I'm not talking about this incident, I'm talking about any incident. An enlightened soul has done something, and it doesn't have to be an enlightened soul as well. Any person has done something which is not the way it has been presented. Now there is one or more or few people who have thought in that angle to present it in a different way. That is the way of Creator to give him the chance to do karma. And based on their karma, they learn lessons, they are taught lessons. So many a times, the enlightened souls are made to do things so that other can do karma by reacting on that. Now how one reacts, how one talks about it, what one does, decides what their karma they are accumulating and what is the lesson and phal, the result that they will get. And believe me, from my personal experience I am saying, this is the reason also that many a times we keep a bit aloof from people, because we see them as children. Even if someone is doing wrong, we see them as children because their souls are not matured. They may be of whatever age, but they are kids, their souls are not matured. And if we start getting angry and because when Creator is testing the other person to do karma, we are also being tested for our patience, for how much we are working on ourselves, because enlightenment happens. You cannot go back once you are enlightened. It's like opening of a new world, new understanding, and it cannot change. But you still need to grow. The soul keeps growing. So as much as it is a test for the other person, it is also a test for us for the next level. So not only because it's a test, but we have seen like what life is. We have seen things we cannot unsee. When we are enlightened, we see things which we cannot unsee. So that is the reason we feel kindness towards others. When we see people arguing, fighting, we feel it distracts our energy and we ignore them. Why? Not because we are arrogant or we have a huge ego. Because they are children, and when children play, you don't have to interfere always. They need to learn their own lessons. But we still share our wisdom because enlightenment is a privilege, Yes, we need to work a lot for it. It's not easy, but it's a privilege. And it's like the Creator selecting one out of millions. So it comes with a very, very big responsibility, like big powers, huge powers come with huge responsibilities. So we just cannot, start talking about people get into their fights. That doesn't match our energy. And why not? They are our children. They are kids. They are fighting. They fall, they fight, they play, they learn. That is how it is, right? Even humans do that. So when this kind of incidents happen, people who play with the energies of an enlightened soul, I'm talking from my personal experience, things that happen to me and with people around me on a regular basis, I'm talking from that experience. If a person messes with the energy of an enlightened being, now when I say energy, it can be in any form. It can be by talking negative, it can be by abusing them or whatsoever, in any form. It's very hard to, explain with words that I used to use before, because now the feelings are different. What we want to say is a completely different language, and I don't find those words in the dictionary. I mean, it's very difficult to explain, very difficult. So those who mess, they do so, they are given opportunities to earn karma. In general, you can say it is same for everyone. There is God in everyone. Why we say that find the God in you? If you have seen my previous videos, I keep saying find the God in you. Because as much as there is God in you, there is God in me, there is God in everything. God is in every bit, every particle. Because the entire creation is His. And He is not an entity like a man or a woman and gender. No, He's not an entity. So, in general, you get opportunities to do karma through people all around. And there are so many people, high vibrating people, enlightened souls, light workers, you don't even know, because they will understand your energy, you might not understand their energy. That is the reason we should be kind to others. That is the reason we should be very, we should think before we act. And these people who do karma against this kind of enlightened souls, they get the judgment, this causes a lot of tough lessons. They earn a lot of tough lessons. To the person, he smiles from inside, and to him, he or she, the soul I'm talking about, it doesn't have a gender, is full of love, is full of light and kindness. We cannot feel like, oh, he's saying this, so I have to react to that. So this much I want to say. And I was just going through the ascension process, and I started doing healing, spiritual healing, and distant healing. And I remember I was doing healing of a child, and I was asking everyone that this spiritual distant healing I'm doing, please share your energy, because that energy is like people thinking positive, they are praying for the good. Itself is a very, very, bright and powerful energy. So someone wrote on that how would you do spiritual healing from a distance? Is it a... At first, I thought I will reply very kindly to the person. But then I didn't reply. That time I had my awakening, and I was still in the ascension process. So I thought that he is a child. He can write anything. But I'm not a child. And I'm sure an enlightened soul, trillions of people can say anything. But his honesty, his truth is in him and his God, his creator, his faith. He doesn't care about anything else, because he knows what is life, what happens after life. He has seen all those things. Since life is an illusion, we can only contribute by adding positive energy to the universe. And that positive energy comes through love and kindness, forgiveness. Doesn't matter what everyone thinks. What matters is our truth. And we will be gone, we will have to return home. But before that, we are just sharing our wisdom. One day you all will share your wisdom, either in this life or in another life. And the cycle will go on. It's very easy to talk about people. It's very easy to, think the negative first. But we think negative, we create negativity. So why not think positive and spread positivity? I'm not saying that you have to accept everything, but that doesn't mean that you don't even have to think for 1 second, because before acting out and doing a karma. I'm sending you all a lot of love, light and blessings.